Go get 'em, Tiger. Rawr.
We're all behind our baseball team. Go get 'em, Tigers. Go get 'em, Tigers. What's up, guys? It's Eric. It is no longer Adam. Eric will be doing the power rankings. Adam has retired from this league, and it's all because of two guys. First guy, the commissioner, Michael D. Mostrom. I mentioned that, guys are only telling me stuff when it's convenient. He did let me know that Calvin Johnson was in trade, or he was in trade talks with getting Calvin Johnson, but he didn't want me to know who he was trading away because he, quote, did not trust me. I thought we agreed at the beginning of the year. Any information I needed to know, him withholding information like that, I don't even know why I would continue doing that if, people don't let me know. There's been a lot of trades that have gone through without me knowing anything. I've been very upfront with my trades. The reason why I'm able to be upfront with my trades and Mike and some other people have not is because Mike continues to try to bend people over the barrel, and he knows that if his trades get out, people will offer his trading partners better deals. He's done it with Mike Samuels a couple times already this year. I think we can all agree on that. Now, with this trade, I don't think that he bent Derek over the table. Calvin Johnson, only on a one-year contract, not healthy whatsoever. I think he had, 3 points this past week, didn't play the previous week. So I actually don't mind that trade for Derek. He gets a couple decent contracts in Dwayne Bowe and Andre Johnson. So, but still, Mike withholding information from me makes me not want to do this. The second person that makes me not want to do this is my brother, the unnecessary fisting. I almost said my team name. Durs, Andy Helmholtz. There's at least one time and possibly a second where he called me up, wanted me to check all the projections and stuff like that because he was in trade talks, but he didn't want me to report on it because, again, he didn't want anyone else getting involved in it. So, no one's being forthcoming. So, I'm just going to stop doing it. Heard the Tigers theme song on the intro today. They're looking pretty good. 2-2. Sliding Austin Jackson down into the 8 slot seemed to do wonders. Now, being a stats professor, I know correlation does not equal causation, but it was a nice change to see. I'm going to zoom out here a little bit and notice the professor wardrobe today, rocking the Tigers hat with their big victory last night. We scroll down here. Oh, see that? Wearing the Brooklyn Nets mesh shorts today. Arguably the top 5 or the top starting lineup in all of basketball. I would dare say that they've got like a top 5 at every starting position and a decent bench. Granted, they're a little old. I don't know if they'll have enough firepower to beat the Miami Heat. But yeah, I say that they've got at least a decent chance at making some noise this year. And then last but not least, rocking the creamsicle Doug Martin jersey today. Now, granted, the Buccaneers not looking as strong as the Tigers or the Nets, but what Doug Martin does have going for him, he's on a pretty darn good fantasy team. Currently second in the projections for winning the whole championship, which is what it's all about, even though my team still only second probability in winning my own division. So no trade chatter today. Not my job anymore. You can go ahead and take that over, Mostrom. But we will go through the power rankings because I will continue to do that. Not a ton of movement this week. There was a couple of significant injuries. DeMarco Murray, Randall Cobb, Danny Amendola. Whatever. Like I said, it helps my team because it hurts Derek L's team. So I don't have to worry about 2-4 Mike Mostrom just yet. But let's quickly run down them. 2-4 Mike Mostrom. He's got the best projected team the rest of the way, so maybe he'll make a little bit of a run here. Projected 14-29 the rest of the way. Andy and myself come in at 2 and 3 respectively. So even though we had significant injuries, we made that trade, Doug Martin for AJ Green, to kind of fill the needs that we had. Andy projected 14-12, myself projected 13-69. Scott comes in at 4. Derek Newberta, big win last week, highest points in the league. Congratulations, Derek. Yeah, I wouldn't drop any of those guys just yet. You're only one game back from Mike and Scott, and they both figure that they've got a pretty good chance at making the playoffs yet. I don't think that you're completely out of it yet. So I would definitely stick with your team. So you got your 5th in the power rankings. Dustin is 6th at 5-1, and Jason is 7th at 5-1. So both of your teams are looking strong so far. You got the wins already, so maybe the projections don't really matter as much to you. I mean, you've got a 3-game lead on Mike and Scott, so I would rather be in your position, even though you're lower in the power rankings. Doug comes in at number 8. Jared at number 9. Derek Mostrom at number 10. And this does not factor in that trade that Derek and Mike made. Just FYI. Derek L. 5-1. Derek L. still ranked 11th in the power rankings. Now that we're getting into bye weeks, he's got 0 depth. He has the worst wide receiver 1, the worst wide receiver 2, the worst wide receiver 3, the worst wide receiver 4, and the worst wide receiver 5. So outside of Aaron Rodgers and Adrian Peterson, not a whole lot going on for him. He's got the worst tight end. He's got the worst flex. But Aaron Rodgers and Adrian Peterson, they continue to do work for him. I'm still liking my chances in my division. I don't even know that Derek even looks at any of this stuff. If I was to do an activities power rankings, 1 through 11 would be in some order: Mike Mostrom, Andy, Eric, Scott, Derek Newberta, Dustin, Jason, Doug, Jared, Derek Mostrom, and Mike Samuels, with Derek L being very, very dead last. Derek L, your team's performing. Why aren't you talking more smack? I don't think it's going to last, but I didn't think it was going to last this long either. So I guess continue doing what you do. And then last in the power rankings, we have Mike Samuels. Let's switch over to the lines and the futures. Little bit of a side note, Mike Mostrom called me last night and said that him and Mike Samuels made a little side bet. I don't know why you continue to deal with him, Mike Samuels. He gets the best of you every single time. But they bet on this week's matchup. I think someone has to cover someone's bar tab. I think Mike Mostrom was pretty intoxicated when he made that phone call last night. And then the other person, the loser, has to wear a jersey of the winning team and talk about how awesome and bad the winning team is, or how good they suck dick or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't catch all that, Mostrom. But anyway, Mike Samuels, you are the biggest underdog this week. Mike Mostrom is -230. Mike Samuels +180. Andy, -140 versus Dustin, +110. We got a battle of 5-1 teams. The winner here could have a leg up on finishing first in the regular season. Jared, -130 over Derek L, +105. Jared, who's tried to trade his team away, starting to play for the future, made some good trades in my estimation. 1-5 playing against Derek L, 5-1. Also in my estimation, made some trades that hurt his team this year. He continues to win, yet he's still an underdog to Jared. And I'm going to go ahead and make that the Kia Sorrento matchup of the week. Next, we have Derek Mostrom versus Derek N. Derek Mostrom is -130 over Derek N, +105. I haven't looked into this matchup a whole lot. I'm guessing that Derek Newberta maybe has some bye week issues. But Derek Mostrom leading his division and, is the favorite this week. Myself, -125 over Scott, +100. No apology yet, Scott. If you beat me this week, maybe I'll apologize, but only if it's because you have Demarius and Gio Bernard. So if they destroy me, maybe I'll apologize. And then our closest matchup of the week, we've got Jason minus 120 versus Doug minus 105. Another battle between a 5-1 team and a 1-5 team, but this projects to be very, very close. Andy still running away with the North, minus 12,000. Jared plus 8,500. Doug is off the board. Next we have Jason is minus 145. Dustin is plus 115. They're both 1-5, or they're both 5-1. But Jason projects to have a little bit better team the rest of the way. Mike Samuel is off the board. The West, we got a pretty good 3-horse race here. Mike Mostrom is still minus 145, even though he's a game behind Derek. Scott is plus 320, and Derek is plus 325. So even though Derek is leading the division, just based on projections, he is the lowest. He has the lowest probability of winning the division. And then finally, the East Division. Derek L. still has the game lead on me. I've got him at minus 130. I'm plus 105. I think that that's the best bet in the entire league, betting me plus 105 to win the division. And then Derek N. is plus 8,500. I think he might have actually been off the board last week, if I remember correctly. But he is no longer off the board. I put the odds back up for you. We'll quickly go to the championship odds. Andy is still the favorite, plus 230. Myself and Jason are plus 425. Dustin plus 600. Mike Mostrom plus 875. Derek L., even though I'm leading my division and I'm the favorite for my division, I'm still only plus 1,200. Scott, in all of his awesome trades, is plus 1,700. Derek Mostrom plus 4,000, Derek N plus 8,500, and then Doug, Jared, and Mike S are off the board. That's really all that I got for you guys this week. Again, no trade chatter unless everyone recommits to it and actually gives me all of their information. Maybe we need a signed document or something like that. Just a couple other thoughts that I had though before I sign off today. Mike Mostrom, I really think that we need to explore, making a deadline for signing long-term free agents. It allows teams to get set up for future years without allowing another team to sign a player really, 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 really cheap. So if, Derek Newberta did what you suggested, based on everyone's cap room, if Derek dropped Matt Stafford, Marshawn Lynch, and Stevan Ridley, Dustin could sign each of those guys for like $8 and sign them to 5 years. That wouldn't happen in the real NFL. I think that we need a long-term free agent deadline where once we're after that, guys can drop people without other guys being able to sign them to long-term. The other thought that I had is kind of escaping me right now. Oh yeah, penalties for failing to field an actual starting lineup where you're playing inactive players. When you have active players on your bench, there needs to be a penalty for that. My suggestion, as it was earlier, I didn't hear any feedback from this whatsoever, but for every player that you play that is inactive, when you have an active player on your bench that plays at least at a later time. Obviously, if you got a guy that's playing Monday night and it comes out Monday afternoon that he's not playing out of the blue, you shouldn't be penalized if you have a guy on your bench that played Sunday afternoon. But if it can be avoided, I think that there needs to be a penalty, and my suggestion for that penalty is $10, which should go directly towards the league trophy. Those are just my thoughts. I take tanking very, very seriously because of the way that the lottery is set up. And I think that this needs to be dealt with. We need to set a rule in place. Those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Mike, maybe respond to my thoughts here. And until next week, peace.